Hello, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the episode 62 of the Kpush podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Jaiden
Hi.
Grant.
How you guys doing?
How are we doing today, Jaiden?
I'm good.
You're
very
good?
good. Yes, I am.
You have this project that you've been working on for quite some time now.
Yeah.
I hear.
Yeah.
It's through the grapevine. I've heard it through. What's going on with it?
Okay, so, let's address the elephant in the room. It's not, it did not come out on June 20th as I said it was going to. And honestly, I just was really busy and I just kind of procrastinated for way too long. So, but
Do you have a date for it?
I'm gonna try to finish it. I'm gonna try to finish it before at least before July or some way mid through July. But
So it's going to come out during July.
it's probably gonna come out during July.
Probably July.
Yeah, probably July.
Okay.
I don't know when, but I gotta finish it soon, though.
It's a good estimated amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the one thing is with the trailer? I want to ask you this: is how long did it take you to make the trailer?
Not even an hour. It took me
Really?
30 minutes.
30 minutes? I figured the trailer would have taken a shit ton of time.
It's when I made that trailer, it was it's something that just instantly just came to me. It didn't take that long for me to edit or or choose and pick footage. I just was like, oh, this looks nice. Let me add that in there, and let me just pick the right music for that for that tone of for the tone of the trailer. But yeah, those trailers that I made, it kind of just took not that long a time. The first trailer I did, I felt like I could have done better. So the one that I really that I made a while months ago, I think that was the better one because I actually put more time and effort into what I was doing. And yeah, but the trailer process, it didn't really take that long for me to do. I don't mean to sound cocky or anything, but it really just comes so natural to me.
No. I completely understand what you're saying. Is that there's natural feels for this for the podcasting too. Every single thing you do, you're gonna have some natural ability at. One of my natural abilities is just having conversations with people. I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah.
I'm also pretty decent at editing. And then there are parts where you struggle at it with. So give an example of something you really struggled on with making the project.
I think the one thing I struggled with was just finding what to use and what not to use because
So do you have somebody else looking over your shoulder?
Oh, no.
Nobody?
No.
So this is just
you.
you.
All me.
So one of the things that I've noticed, because I do a good amount of editing, especially with this, and I made YouTube videos in the past, is you don't know, you have an idea, and you don't know if it's good or not.
Yeah.
And you kind of just have to go, well, I like it. So I've always found it so much more helpful if you have another pair of eyes to literally just run through an idea with them. Is this good? Is this worth the time I'm going to put into it?
Yeah.
And then if they think it's good, then it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then it's also helpful to throw out some of those bad ideas that you have, which you don't even know are bad ideas.
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm doing something when it comes to editing or editing just a simple clip or something, I'm just do I really feel like this is gonna work? And then maybe 10 minutes later when I'm not even doing something I'm just doing something normal and I'm just I don't know playing video games or watching TV, I instantly think of a better idea. I'm oh shit, let me use that, let me do that instead.
Right.
Why didn't I think of that earlier? It's whenever an idea comes to me that I know is better than the one prior, it always just happens naturally. I don't think about it. It's I'm not thinking about it. It just comes into my head. I think a best example is because during the pandemic, I don't know when, but I really got into editing, editing, and I used I don't know which. Oh, I know the first video that I watched. It's this YouTuber who makes trailers, right? And it was a trailer for Red Dead Redemption, but he used the music from Logan. He used the Johnny Cash song from Logan and he put it in there. And I'm like, whoa, this is actually pretty cool. So I started doing some stuff like that. Like I made like a bunch of like I have like a whole bunch of videos that I like of like like trailers that I made.
Can we find them?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can find them.
We can. We can
but
find them right now.
It's some of them are not public. It's unlisted, so I would have to like because like I didn't because you know how YouTube is like the
No. I know what it's like, bro. I completely understand. Especially if you're trying to use some of those copyright stuff and shit like that. It gets really fucking complicated with YouTube.
Yeah, there are like maybe three of them that
What's it
I
called?
actually.
Sorry, you can keep talking right after this. I just want to find out what should I look up to find these videos.
Oh, just go to YouTube and if you need me to like sign into my like account, I can. But just
do you have any of them that are public?
I think I have. I think some of them are public. Just look up the world's biggest nerd, and just go to channels and the profile picture. It has it's a Kobe Bryant picture. So just like
I love it. The world's biggest nerd. I spelled it wrong. That's okay.
So yeah. So just wait. Just go to filter and then just go to like sorted channels.
Filter and then
Or is it geek? I don't know. I haven't been on that YouTube. I haven't been on that YouTube channel in a while. So let me just like double check and clarify that that's the one. Oh, it's world's biggest geek. My bad. It's world biggest geek.
I kind of like nerd better. Not gonna lie. The world's biggest nerd. I like geek though too.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you're editing this out, right?
What, this?
Like the long process of getting to
no. This is all in. This is my
Oh no, that's not it.
This is not it?
Yeah, so just go just like go to filter and then just like go in the channels cuz like I'm pretty sure a lot of like channels have the same name as well.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. You got to get the world's biggest nerd. You'll be the first.
It's that one.
This one?
Yeah, that's that one.
Okay, hold on. Give me 1 sec. Because we can actually show them how to, or I can show them. Give me 1 second. I gotta set it up. There we go. Okay. Look at that. Beautiful. I don't know how to adjust it so it is gonna cover our fucking faces. I do want to try and figure that out at some point, how to fucking so it doesn't take up our entire screen, but like what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah. So like the first 3 videos that you're looking at, like those are probably like my personal favorites because like I really
this 3.
Like yeah, those first 3.
Hello, everybody. This is future Kpush talking here. What past Kpush doesn't understand during the Jaiden Grant podcast is that by watching the trailer that is about to be played, it does contain copyright music. And past Kpush decides to watch this trailer, watch another Jaiden's trailer that also contains another copyright video, and then we also can watch an Obi-Wan scene of the new Obi-Wan show. All 3 of those things got a copyright claim, even though that they're technically under the fair use policy because we are not making any money off of these videos. We also cut them into clips, give them credit, and we are also criticizing them, which means they fall under the fair use. YouTube's algorithm doesn't recognize this as fair use, and neither does Spotify. So I'm going back and I'm editing these clips. I'm going to be replacing the first clip with this clip, of course, and then when we play the second trailer, and then when I play the Obi-Wan scene, I'm going to replace those clips with a video of me screaming the word penis. So if you are listening to this and wonder why you hear the word penis being screamed, that is why. If you are watching this podcast and you get a clip of me dressed in future different outfits, again screaming the word penis, this is why. I am sorry I procrastinated doing this. I did not want to edit this podcast. I think this podcast was one of the best ones I've ever done. And I am ruining this podcast by adding these clips in. But I still want to get what I have of this podcast out, even though that the final product had to be tampered with to go on the website. Anyway, goodbye.
You did that so well, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you fucking put work into that.
Do you understand how hard it is to take audio?
Yes, I do know. Yes, I do know.
Because like you can tell, like
people don't know though. So please talk about how fucking difficult it is. Because I know, but the people watching, they don't fucking understand.
You do not understand how hard it is to take dialogue and splice it from the audio and put it into a video. It's hard as shit.
This is hard enough.
It is hard.
Finding some place to record the audio from. So you have to get it from you can't go on Disney Plus and screen record it.
I can't. I have to go on YouTube and screen record it. Then I have to go on this website, add the video into it, take the and I can't, and I made an account and it says that you can only download search so and so. So I gotta screen record it on Safari, then put it back into my file, then put it into iMovie. Then I gotta make sure that it's lined up perfectly. And and sometimes it's not even 100% accurate. So I have to make sure that it's you can hear it perfectly. So it's so hard. It is so hard to do that. It's like Actually, you know what? Is it okay if I can show one more?
Yeah.
There's one more. It's the Joker one. I think, and I said you're gonna like this one because I know Joker's
Yeah, I know.
Peanuts.
Snyder's cut.
You didn't?
No, I didn't. I watched the original Justice League. I didn't watch the Snyder
you
cut.
should. Listen, the Snyder Cut, it's 4 hours, but it's honestly the best 4 hours I've ever of a movie that I've ever watched.
It's the best ever. That's all.
Listen,
really
I know the Snyder Cut gets
that
a lot of high praise from Snyder Cut, stands, but I genuinely, when I watched the Snyder Cut, I fucking loved it. I genuinely loved it because I really am. I'm a DC fan. I grew up watching Static Shock and the Superman animated series and Teen Titans and Flash is my favorite superhero. And when I saw the Justice League that came out in 2017, I fucking hated it. It was ass. I was like, what is this? Then I understood the whole backstory as to how that movie was made, and then I personally was like, well, the Zack Snyder has a version of this. I want to see it. And then when I saw it, I'm like, what the fuck? This is a fucking good movie. Why would DC and Warner Brothers want to scrap this version? And I think this is the one. This one, I know Infinity War was my favorite, but this is also my second favorite. In the music that comes with this, I think it speaks volumes because it's a song about smiling, but clearly it's depressing and it's leading to it's impending doom or whatever, and it's so I feel that's why I think as far as music choice, I think music speaks volumes to when you want to use it, put it in a trailer
for sure.
Music really speaks volumes, and I think that is a perfect example of something that I feel if that came out in a movie theater, I would actually be like, whoa, this is actually really really good. This is you understand what the plot of the movie is without even having that much dialogue. And this is a trailer that doesn't have that much dialogue. It only has 4 or 5 lines, but you can clearly see what the movie is about. You know what it's about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I mean, you can take a really shitty movie and give it a great trailer.
Absolutely. Look at the Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad is exactly what I was going to say. You can go and watch Suicide Squad, and it's fucking shit.
Yes.
And we can all kind of agree that it's probably one of the worst superhero movies ever made.
I want to say I think it's possibly the worst.
It's up there.
I've seen terrible comic book movies. I've seen Suicide Squad. I'm talking about the James Gunn one is fucking brilliant. That one was awesome.
Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad was fucking brilliant.
That one's great.
Suicide Squad was trash. Wonder Woman 84 was trash. I know if I'm upsetting anyone that likes Wonder Woman, I'm sorry, but that movie is terrible. The first one was better.
The first one wasn't even that good.
I mean, I liked the first one, but the second one was pretty bad.
There's a difference between, it's a good movie and it's a good superhero movie.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, the first one, was a good superhero movie, and but the only reason it got fucking that much attention was because it was the first female superhero movie, which sucks.
But I mean, but for the first like superhero movie of like DC, because I mean, Elektra came out like years ago, but no one likes to talk about that. But like for it being, I think Gal Gadot did a great job, and I feel like I could watch it like. Or like if it were to come on TV, I'd watch it and I'd be like, "Whoa, this is still." Like, I feel like I can genuinely enjoy the movie. Whereas Wonder Woman 1984, it just fails. Like it just fails at like the writing. It fails. The message fails, and I feel like they kind of do a disservice to Diana like as a character. I feel like they really just drop the ball with her character, and it sucks because I actually do like Wonder Woman. I think she's one of the best female, and not just female, she's one of the best superheroes of all time. And
you think that?
Yeah, I think she's one of the best. Because I do like her story of like of a warrior who is from an island that's just filled with no one but women, but it still sees the good in people and still inspires hope into other into like other people. She's like Superman, but more of a warrior than a beacon of hope. Like she's a warrior, but she's a beacon of hope, but she's also like a warrior. And I think like I feel like a lot of like female superheroes, like Captain Marvel. I feel like Captain Marvel is like I feel like Wonder Woman. The difference between Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel is Wonder Woman. I feel like someone can look up to Wonder Woman and feel like and watch Wonder Woman and be like, this is a good movie. Whereas Captain Marvel, it tries to be a whole lot of things instead of trying to make us like the character. You know what I mean?
So wait, hold on. Are you talking about the character themselves?
No, I'm talking about the movie. I'm talking about the movie because Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel and
Captain Marvel, I mean, isn't even a good superhero movie.
It's not a good superhero movie.
Like when you say that, it's pathetic because it's not hard to make a good superhero movie. They're formulaic. You have a bunch of CGI. The only thing that you need to make a good superhero movie is a big budget. That's literally it.
I think,
if you have a big budget, you and me could shoot a very good superhero movie, and I legitimately believe that you and me could make like a really tight, good superhero movie.
Yeah,
good movie, maybe.
I genuinely
and like to do.
What stinks is that like it's not even like a good movie to watch. Like well, I mean it has some things that I do like. I do like Captain Marvel's like best friend Monica. I think her name's Monica. I thought she was great. I thought but I mean Brie Larson obviously is doing she's doing what she has to do. Like I'm not discrediting Brie Larson or anything. She did what she had to do, but I feel like the writing for her character was really just like what made the movie not as enjoyable. I feel like they really dropped the ball on Brie Larson's character.
The thing is with Brie Larson is that she is working with a terrible script.
Yes, she is.
She's working with people who don't probably understand her superhero that well.
Yes.
She's working with people who probably don't care about her superhero that much. And then on top of that, I don't think Brie Larson is a 10 out of 10 Christian Bale actor who's gonna come out and start fucking swinging at acting roles.
Yeah, I'm not expecting Brie Larson to be like Christian Bale or Ben Affleck or Scarlett Johansson or
Scarlett Johansson's a good actor.
She is.
She's not great.
But
She's not up there with Christian Bale.
Yeah, but I feel I kind of feel bad that like because of Captain Marvel, people just don't care about because of like Captain Marvel not being liked by a lot of people. They're just like I genuinely want to see Brie Larson in a good Marvel film with the right people writing the script for her. But the first two movies that she was in, she wasn't really likable.
And not only that, her Brie Larson, this doesn't really help at all, is that she's not that likable
in real life.
Well,
I mean, I don't really know.
She seems
that much
annoying.
about Brie Larson.
She seems very annoying, and I don't know her personally. Maybe she's completely different, but she just seems, like that type of annoyingness that just fucking pisses you off. Like, get the fuck away from me.
Well, I don't know. I'm just going off of I'm only just going off of like, you know, what I've seen. Like, I personally, I want to see I want to like Brie Larson's like Captain Marvel character. I just hope that, you know, in the next sequel they do better with her character, because I don't like the fact that I don't like a superhero that I watch. You know what I mean?
Right.
And especially consider and you know. And it kind of makes me feel, you know, like worse that I, you know, like Captain Marvel, who is a female superhero, that I just don't like her character, because I don't want to, because like, you know, it makes me feel like, oh, am I sexist or anything? Am I sexist, like,
no,
or something?
No, that's
like,
not
do I feel like an asshole because I don't like Captain Marvel? It's like, I mean, I don't want to, you know, feel like that. I mean, there are other female superheroes in the MCU that I do love. I mean, I love Black Widow, I love Scarlet Witch, I love Maria Hill, I love Mantis. I love Gamora. Gamora's a fucking badass. Gamora it's like one of the best parts of Guardians of the Galaxy. But it's like, when it comes to Captain Marvel, I legitimately felt like, damn, like, am I like, I feel like an asshole for not liking Captain Marvel. Like, what's wrong with me?
No, you're definitely 100% not a fucking asshole. Captain Marvel is just not a good written character, and she's not played by a very great actor. I'll give you a fucking perfect example. Fucking Laura from Logan. The little girl.
She was amazing.
She was fucking incredible.
She was incredible.
If you watched that movie and you looked at me and you said, yeah, you know what, Laura bored me, I'm going to look at you and call you a sexist. But the reality is that when you see an unremarkable character like fucking Laura, and Laura's probably the best female superhero in all of superhero movies.
I think the best part about her character is that even though she doesn't speak English, or she can speak English, but I mean she is able to say like a few words in English, but she
chooses not to.
Yes,
she
chooses not to speak, but you can feel and see what she's feeling simply based off of her emotions. I like a character. I love those kind of characters that don't talk, but you can clearly see what they're feeling, what they're saying without having to say a word.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if, and I'm talking about like I don't know if you've watched The Boys, but if you have watched The Boys and you know the character that I'm talking about, she doesn't say a word. She speaks sign language, but you can still feel and see what she's talking about, and that's what makes her character great. She doesn't have to talk to be good. I mean, sorry, let me rephrase that. Her talking doesn't make her character good. It's what her characteristics. The fact that she is a mute, but you can still understand and feel where she's coming from, makes her character great. You don't. I mean, what's another?
Well, here's the thing too with these Marvel movies is that they're mostly written by men.
Yeah.
And because a couple reasons. Number one, men want to work with other men. Men don't necessarily always want to work with women.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate, but I mean, that's just like what it, I mean.
And also, a lot of women don't want to work on superhero movies. That's true too. So women aren't that as interested into superhero movies as much as other men are. So you have two of those things working together. So a lot of them aren't men. So when you're writing female characters, you should always have a female.
Yeah, you should, because like a man writing a woman compared to
it's the same thing though. It's the exact same thing.
Was Birds of Prey directed? Was Birds of Prey written by a woman?
I'm not exactly too sure.
Because if it was, then it explains why it's so good. Because women writing women makes sense. Us men writing how women should act, it doesn't make any sense, because we're writing how we perceive them instead of how women are based off of their own experiences. It just doesn't make any sense. And considering that, I'm not surprised that Disney has men writing women. I mean, I'm not surprised. I think Disney's a fucking terrible ass company, and it's just I'm not surprised, but. I'll get more on that later in another topic, because I actually have a lot of things. I have something that I've been wanting to say for so long, and it has something to do with Marvel and everything else. But I'm just gonna wait till we're done with this subject. But I feel like men, when it comes to superhero movies or anything that rather, and it's like a female lead, I feel like men shouldn't be writing their characters. It should be women, because they know more than we do. They know more than we do.
Well, you can definitely have a man write a woman because it's still just a character. Some of the best characters aren't even like this is always a perfect example. The one of the best female protagonists ever is the girl from Alien.
Oh, Sigourney Weaver's character.
Yes,
I've
yes.
never seen those movies, but like I know what you're talking about.
That
Like,
character was supposed to be a man. That was
oh,
the
really?
that character was supposed to be a man. Yes, and this has always been like the famous example is your character really shouldn't even matter if it is a boy or a girl.
Yes,
So
exactly.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
But if you're going into those sort of emotions,
Okay, well,
of-
yes,
of-
emotional or emotions,
And-
then yeah, I
and
feel like that's warranted.
you shouldn't even like you can have a room full of guys even, but you should at least have like a girl there is what I'm
Yeah,
saying, because
yeah.
you need another, like we were talking about, you need another pair of eyes.
Yeah, you
and
do.
if you have a female's perspective, they bring in a different type of perspective that other men just don't, and that goes vice
Yeah.
versa. If you have a room full of females and they're writing guy characters and you're getting into guy emotions, that's gonna look fucking terrible on screen, and we know how that looks on screen. Those are all those cheesy romance movies. That's what they fucking are. But you need like a man in that room. You need like just a man in that room going over some of the decisions, and vice versa. You need a female in that room going over some of the decisions.
Yeah,
because you just it brings a new perspective and when you're creating like a legitimate story with legitimate human beings, you need help creating characters.
Yeah, you gotta have like opinions from like from a man and from a woman. They should offer their insight without it having like. I feel like you're right, because even though a bunch of women can write a character, and make a character and write certain characteristics, but you should have if they're writing if a woman is writing a man should offer insight. If a man's writing a woman should it should there shouldn't be this is like, oh, it's my way or the
Yes.
They should be offering some insight. And I know you mentioned, but I think the character that I was thinking of was Sarah Connor from the Terminator movies. And I'm talking about I'm talking about from the first two. The other three, I don't even consider. No. But like Sarah Connor in the first Terminator movie, she was she was a helpless waitress who was getting chased by a freaking murdering psychopath robot.
Yeah.
But at the end, like you can see her just like, listen, this thing is coming after me, and I have to take matters into my own hands. I may be scared, but I have to. It's like life or death. I have to. It's either I'm gonna die or that thing's gonna die.
Right.
And then in Judgment Day, you can see, the seed was planted in the first one that she was gonna become a badass. In the second one, she's a badass. Like
Right.
but you can see the progression, coming. It wasn't like she just became like like a hardened warrior out of nowhere. Like you can
Right.
see it gradually building up, and then in the second one they build it up properly, and she's like one of the coolest female characters in cinema history. Like when I think of greatest female characters in cinema history, Sarah Connor is one of them, because Sarah Connor is a great character. She knows that the end of the world is coming. She wants to make sure that her son is safe and secure, because he is destined to be the leader of the resistance against the Terminators. And she has flaws, but at the same time you understand where she's coming from. Like
I'm not gonna lie, I think I only saw the first Terminator movie.
You need to watch Judgment Day. Judgment Day is amazing.
Second half of the second Terminator movie.
You need
I don't even think I finished the second.
You
Terminator
have to
movie.
watch Judgment Day. Judgment Day is one of the greatest sequels of all time.
Do I need to watch it though?
Well, if you need to watch it to gain context on the first one, because it does have elements from the first movie that do play into the sequel. But you can watch Judgment Day, and after that you just don't have to watch any Terminator
Those things
movies.
get so confusing though. I mean, with like Alien 2, like I saw the first two Aliens, and I think I'm okay now. I like both of them. I like the first Alien way more, but I mean, it's I don't need any more Alien.
Yeah,
I got
you're
it.
right. But
so I feel like that way with Terminator 2.
But I have a question. So we were talking about Disney earlier. So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Disney is ruining cinema?
All right. This is a very handed discussion. I wanted to get right back in. So I'm going to remember that. We'll both remember that because that's like a 45-minute discussion.
Yes.
We were talking about, before we started watching your videos, you were talking about getting obsessed with editing.
Yes.
We were both sort of talking about that.
Yeah.
I've been thinking of a project that I wanted to be working on. I wanted to take. Have you seen Reservoir Dogs by Quentin Tarantino?
No, I don't think so.
You have to watch.
I've not really. I've only watched the Kill Bill movies. I've never really watched Pulp Fiction or Inglourious Bastards or.
You gotta see all those.
Yeah.
All those movies you gotta see. So, but there's and have you watched Breaking Bad?
So I've taken a break, but I gotta finish.
Okay.
I have to finish season 1.
Well, then this is gonna be an easy discussion. There's a scene in Reservoir Dogs. It's a very famous scene, with one of the very famous shots, and then Breaking Bad does a reference to Reservoir Dogs, and they redo that scene, and then in Ozark they redo the Reservoir Dogs scene as well. So there's like 3 different pieces of film that all have like very similar scenes, and I want to take it and do like a film study on it and kind of in that analyze all 3 of those scenes and which ones, all that type of good shit. And I haven't started it because of the fact that it's going to take like 40 hours plus.
40 hours to talk about it or 40 hours to edit?
To edit, make it, write the script.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Everything.
Fucking-lutely, dude.
At least 40 hours. Could probably be 60 hours.
60, Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's going to be so long. But when you're in that process and you're in it, you get so obsessed with it.
Yeah, you're sucked in.
When you are done editing, you're not really done editing.
You're not.
Your brain is so focused on the project at hand that you are just constantly thinking about it. So when you were saying like you would play video games and all of a sudden you get an idea for your video, I totally fucking relate to that.
Yes.
Where I'm like, holy shit, you're just... And the best thing is when you get a problem solved. When you have a problem and you work on it for like 45 minutes, you just say, fuck it, I can't figure it out. And then all of a sudden, you think of a solution to that problem while you're like playing video games or whatever. You just want to throw your controller down and run downstairs on your computer and start fucking working on it.
Yeah.
It's crazy how obsessed I get with it. So, I mean, you've probably gone on that like a fucking bunch working on this documentary.
Yeah, like when I edit something, like I don't think I'm done. I don't like when I rewatch it. I still think there's something I gotta fix, even though I think it's perfect. I still feel like there's something I need to finish or like retouch, because like it's like, oh, maybe I could just trim it maybe like 0.2 seconds to make it more like just. But like like when you're editing, you're never done. Even when you're the final product, you're still like, oh, I feel like I could have changed that. I could have done this.
There's so many little like nuances that you think you could have changed that would make it so much better, and you just are never fully satisfied with the final product.
Yeah.
Ever. Even with this podcast, I'll have very great podcasts. Even this conversation right now, I'll rewatch it for my promo. I will be like, well, I should have asked Jaiden this. I should have said this to Jaiden. I didn't word that correctly.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm trying to stop saying like, and.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's so terrible.
I say like and way too much.
Oh, my God. It's fucking horrific.
It's terrible.
And the thing is, when you do the solo podcast, changing from topic to topic becomes harder, very difficult,
because you don't have anyone to bounce off with. So you have to just like rely on yourself to just like know when to change the subject.
And having those like and ums just fucking make the process easier to record. But when you listen back on it, it sounds fucking god awful.
It does.
You just start saying and like just 24/7.
Yeah.
So it becomes very difficult to listen to. So I'm trying to pay more attention to that while I record with people and also by myself. I will have like a little list and I'll try and catch myself every time I hear.
Yeah.
like and a nom, so I'm getting a little bit better with that, I think.
Yeah.
But so editing. Do you ever want to be an editor? Do you want to do anything with editing?
Honestly,
because I want
good at it. I want to be.
From what I've seen,
I definitely want to be like a sports analyst. But if honestly, I think
there's editing in that.
Yeah, there is.
There's a lot of editing in sports clips.
Like if that like doesn't turn out to be what I want to do, or actually, even if like I don't become a sports analyst, I can just start YouTube and just do it myself.
Do it yourself.
Like just do it myself.
I mean, that's a lot of risk, and like you've seen here, I've been working on we're 62 episodes in. I barely have like any viewers. Like it takes.
The algorithm is so like it's like you can make the best video and it only gets like 10 views.
Yeah.
But then you'll make a video that you won't expect to blow up and it does. And then they're expecting you to just copy that formula. But it's like it's not how it works. The YouTube algorithm is so like it's so hard to figure out. Like when you cracked it, it's like I figured it out, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, and I mean the weird thing is like when you do stuff like this, you just get in the mode of just like, well, I'm just gonna keep going. And they always say success is always very hard work met with a little bit of luck. So, like, when you're in that stage of where I am right now, of just pushing podcasts out, pushing promo videos out, which you're probably going to, if you ever get into sports analysts, you're going to get in these, whichever format you could do. I think you could have your own podcast just talking about sports.
Yeah.
I really do. I'm sorry that I'm not the best guy to come on here and talk sports with. Maybe you and Sam can get on here one day and you guys can just talk sports for an hour and a half. But you could legitimately have your own podcast just talking about sports.
Yeah.
And then you could push out your own clips. You could edit those and God knows what. I'm sure at ESPN, though, that they need fucking editors.
Yeah.
I'm positive that they need those. So you could go work there. I mean, there's so many fucking things to do, man. There's so many things. So many options. Especially now with the internet, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to get into do I think Disney is ruining cinema?
Yes, I genuinely and this anything goes with this conversation. We don't even have to be talking about like Marvel. We can be talking about Disney Plus, because I genuinely want to know. I want to ask someone who is very well like a movie junkie and a TV junkie, just like myself. So I genuinely ask you, do you think Disney is ruining cinema?
So I don't know if they're ruining cinema. I don't know if that's the case. I don't think that that's the case. I don't think that they are ruining cinema, and I think that there's more good cinema now that there has ever been in the history of time.
You're right.
Is that coming from movies? Are they as good as movies? Probably not. The TV shows right now are fucking stellar.
From Disney Plus?
No.
You mean like TV shows?
I'm talking about all TV shows.
Oh, absolutely.
Right now.
Yes.
There's so many things on my list to watch that I just can't keep up.
Yes.
I'm like right now I'm on Better Call Saul. I watched Orange is the New Black. Orange is the New Black was pretty good. Right now I was told to watch Barry. I have to watch Succession.
I need to watch Barry. I want to watch Barry so bad.
Apparently I need to watch there's another TV show. I haven't even seen Westworld yet. There's so many fucking TV shows out right now. It's so crazy. And I'm watching so many. There's Attack on Titan I'm watching. Yeah. There's Close Enough I'm watching. Peacemaker I'm watching.
Peacemaker's amazing.
Penguin's going to come out. Fucking we got Boba Fett this year. There's so many TV shows. Theaters, though?
Theaters, I think that's a whole...
They have ruined theaters.
Okay, so you think Disney ruined like movies?
Movie theaters are dead because of Disney.
That's what I feel like I should have reworded that, because I think this is and honestly we are at fault of this, because
for sure
we are at fault of this.
But here's the thing, though. You and me are 18 years old. The people that are fucked up was the 18-year-olds in 2010 who decided to go watch fucking every Marvel movie that was coming out instead of going to fucking, I don't know, fucking Wes Anderson movies.
Yes.
Instead of going to Christopher Nolan movies. Instead of going to, like, fucking all these incredible fucking
Absolutely. And
directors that we had. And now we're not seeing that many new directors pop up.
we're not.
There's not that many.
We're not.
What can you name? There's Jordan Peele, but
Jordan Peele, yep.
but he didn't get his start up in film.
He didn't.
There's been no crazy new directors who popped up with film.
Yes.
There's not been one.
There has not.
I can't name one. You have the Duffel Brothers with Stranger Things, but they weren't movies either.
Yeah, they weren't. They started with TV.
Like, you can't have a Quentin Tarantino nowadays.
You can't.
And that's, to me, is terrifying.
Because and I think because I grew up with the golden age of TV and movies. I grew up with like Spider-Man, the Raimi Spider-Man. I grew up with, The Dark Knight. I grew up with.
We came after the 90s. We came right out after the 90s.
Yeah, we came right out. Yes.
And the 90s film is just fucking incredible.
Yes.
1999 may be still the best year for movies of all time.
The Matrix.
The Matrix. You have this one girl. What was it? My girlfriend showed me this movie, Girl Interrupted. That came out in 1999. Fucking crazy movie. You've probably never heard of it, but still fucking fantastic. There was a Quentin Tarantino. I think, was that Pulp Fiction? Did Pulp Fiction come out in 1999?
No, it came out in 1995, I think.
1995. So there was another big movie that came out in 1990.
It might have been Kill Bill came out in 2003. Kill Bill came out in 2003, I think. But no, like 1999 had some really big 1999 had some bangers.
You have 10 Things I Hate About You. I
know. The Phantom Menace came out, but like that's like not liked by that many. I mean, I personally like the Phantom Menace, but
Star Wars Episode 1 came out in 1999. The Sixth Sense came out in 1999.
Yeah.
The Green Mule came out in 1999. American Beauty came out in 1999. The Matrix came out in 1999.
Fight Club.
Fight Club came out in 1999. I knew that's the movie I was missing. Fight Club. I knew it was like a David Fincher or Quentin Tarantino movie. The Blair Witch came out in 1999. Obviously, I already said The Matrix, but that's fucking ginormous, so big. Girl Interrupted, I already said. Even that's like 5 fucking ginormous. You have Fight Club, The Matrix, and American Beauty all came out in the same year. Yeah. How about that?
But yeah.
Plus, you have fucking The Green Mule, and like just all those other The Sixth Sense. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
that came out too.
Yeah.
Like fucking crazy. American Pie came out in 1999. There's so many fucking movies came out in 1999.
Yeah, and yes, I'm a superhero like nerd. I'm not afraid to say I'm a superhero nerd, but this is the problem. This is the problem that like Disney is failing to we're not. That some people are failing to understand and grasp the concept of, because we all grew up. Everyone and their mom saw Avengers. Everyone, even my grandmother, who doesn't even watch Marvel movies, she watched Avengers with me. Me, my dad, my brother, my 2 brothers, my mom and my dad, and our grandmother. Our grandmother came to watch Avengers with us in theaters. Everyone and their mother loved Avengers. It was universally loved, and that changed everything for cinema. Because ever since Avengers, Disney cracked the formula with how to make a cinematic universe. And ever since then, I feel like movies now are trying to copy the same formula and try to make a cinematic universe when they don't have to. No. There are certain movies that don't need a sequel. There are certain movies that don't need a branched universe. Because, one of my favorite movies that I just want to sit down and watch and genuinely feel good is The fucking Lighthouse. The Lighthouse is a good movie. It is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I think it's one of the greatest films ever put to fucking cinema. And it came out the same year as Avengers Endgame. But yet Avengers Endgame gets more love and praise because it is, it's the culmination of the entire MCU. But I'm telling you, either it came out in 2020 or 2019. Either way, The Lighthouse is one of the greatest films ever made, and it's probably one of the best psychological thrillers ever made.
What was it? The Lighthouse. That's Robert Pattinson.
Yes, Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe.
Yes, I saw that movie. Movie's good. I liked it. It was a little weird for me.
But that's
weird.
I loved that it was weird.
Here's the thing, though. If we're talking about like movie wise, The Lighthouse over any single Marvel movie all day, every day.
I'm taking that, any day of the week.
That's not even a fucking comparison.
Yes.
Like, you have... The Lighthouse is, for me, a good movie. That's like... I probably give it like a 7 out of 10. But that's like comparing it to like Pulp Fiction and The Dark Knight.
Yeah,
that's
comparing it to like, the heavy hitters. The heavy hitters, yeah.
7 out of 10. That's better than any fucking Marvel movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's not a Marvel movie that stands up to like one of the big heavy hitters, other than Logan. Logan's the only one.
Logan is amazing. Logan's a 10 out of 10.
Some of the X-Men movies. A lot of the X-Men movies are genuinely just good movies.
Yeah, but yeah, like, I probably I didn't really like explain myself with the cinematic universe though, but like
No. I think
but yeah, cuz like
got what you were trying to say.
Yeah, cuz like a lot of movies now are trying to be a cinematic universe. Even Star Wars is trying to do that now, and it's like we're watching It's like we're pretty much watching the same movie just with different like characters, and it's unfortunate that Marvel movies are the ones that are it's the new norm. Like superhero movies are the new norm now, but we don't really pay that much attention to other films that are genuinely put together and that they're brilliant. I mean, I didn't and I did watch the Oscars. I watched the entire thing. And
you and 3 other people.
Yeah, I watched the Oscars, and there were certain moments where I'm just like what happened? Like, well, first of all, I don't even think any of the film critics even watched most of those movies that got nominated.
No,
I'm not. I'm fully convinced because
Who is judging it? This is part of the problem. Who the fuck are the judges? Can you name a judge from the Oscars? Name one.
The people who were like hosting it or the judges?
No, the judges.
I don't know. Who are the judges.
Wait, you're telling me that you watched the entire Oscars and you can't name a single judge? Do you see the fucking problem with that, though?
Yes.
Do you see the fucking problem with that?
Yes.
That's fucking insane. You can't even give me a first name.
No.
Because they don't fucking want you to know.
No.
It's fucking insane.
No, I don't.
If you are a judge at the Oscars, you should have your entire YouTube channel all about reviewing movies.
Yes.
You should be watching every single movie that's coming out. That should be your job, is you go to the fucking movie theater even when you don't want to, and you're writing a fucking review every single day.
And you want to know what pisses me off the most is
you can't even name a first name.
Yeah, do you want to know what do you want to know what pissed me off about the Oscars? The fucking animated movies are for kids line. I hated it. It made me want to lose my shit. I never in a million years thought that animated movies were meant for kids. Never. I never thought that. I thought animated movies are something that kids could watch. Right. But they're not meant for kids. And when and it doesn't make it any better. Let me just
because you keep going. I want you to explain something.
It doesn't make it any better that 3 Disney princesses of live action were talking about, and and it just makes more sense that that you have 3 Disney judges, 3 Disney princesses presenting an award for best animated film, and Encanto won it. It's not surprising. I wasn't surprised. I was disappointed because Encanto, in my opinion, is really just not a good movie. It's a solid movie, but it's not like an Oscar nominee and winner worthy animated film. There are a lot of animated films, like one animated film that got nominated.
Hold on. So you were talking about the Oscars. I think I lost you there for a second.
Yeah, sorry, I went off topic.
You're good. You went on a little rant.
Yeah.
I wanted to let you go, but you said the what was it? Kids animated movies.
Yes.
So is that are you saying that that's the only category that they had for animated movies was animated movies for children?
No, it wasn't like best animated films for kids. It's like the whole. But even the people who were presenting to the award said that animation is a kid's form, and it's like no, that's not true.
It's not. So wait, hold on. So it's not the category though is animated movies.
Yes, best animated movie.
Best animated movie, and the people at the Oscars were saying that animated movies are only for children.
Yes.
That is fucking absurd.
That is absurd because
That is
do you
fucking
understand?
absurd.
Do you understand how many? Because people fail to understand.
Go watch anime.
Exactly.
Go watch Invincible. What the fuck are you talking
people
about?
fail to understand that animation. It's not a genre. It's a form of art. It is a form of art.
100% agree.
Because Into the Spider-Verse, in my opinion, should have got nominated for an Oscar for best film. It should have. And it's not because it's a kids movie. Kids, dude, Spider-Man? Spider-Man is not for kids. Spider-Man is for everyone. Spider-Man is meant for it's meant for people like me, people like you, women, gay people, people of color. Like it's meant for everybody. Anyone. Spider-Man is for everybody. Anyone could be Spider-Man. That's the theme of the movie. Anyone can be Spider-Man and anyone can put on the mask. And you cannot tell me that it's just simply dumbed down to, oh, it's a kid's movie because it's animated. That's not, no. Animation is a form of art. It's a form of art that you can't do in live action, but you can do animated. And there are movies that are, yes, they are a kid's movie that's animated, but that doesn't mean that it's a kid's movie. Soul is one of my favorite Pixar movies, and I don't even think it was meant for kids. It's meant for adults. I mean, well, yeah, okay. But the theme of Soul, I feel like resonates with people who are like with adults rather than kids.
Yeah,
And I think that was probably the last movie that was made by Disney that I genuinely enjoyed because I actually felt something that was for people, like us who are about to be, adults. But it genuinely made me upset that they really just flat out said, oh yeah, animation's for kids. Like fuck the people who put their time and their effort to put their blood, sweat, and tears into something that they genuinely thought was going to be perceived and liked by everybody. But nope, it's just the kids genre.
Well, the thing is with the certain kids movies is the best kids movies are the ones that the adults can watch too. That's always the best one. And I always go back, and so does everybody else. The initial 5 to 10 movies of Pixar are some of the best movies of all time.
Absolutely.
It's not even a fucking question.
Toy
Which
Story.
is why when people talk about new Pixar and they say things are good, I'm like, yeah, but compared, it's not even close.
They got lost in they lost what made the Pixar movies great in the first place.
Because Pixar was supposed to be about just like a new type of universe that a problem was going on, and it had a message. That was it. That was always the thing. Like they're getting into like the problem with Soul and Inside Out is like you're in like a human world with like Soul. It got into like religious shit. I was like, what?
Religious? What do you mean?
Well, like afterlife, going into death and coming out and just all that type of shit. Like that's weird for a kid. Compared to Monsters Inc., it's a world of monsters. That's literally it. Where Soul is like, well, someone dies and there's this whole afterlife, and then you come back from the afterlife and you have to go here, and like what the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, for what the movie did, I accepted it, and I just like, okay, this is what the movie was trying to do.
It's a fine movie.
Yeah. But
it's no Monsters Inc. It's no Toy Story. It's no
Ratatouille, Incredibles.
Incredibles.
I think Ratatouille is the best Pixar movie they ever made. Behind I think it's interchangeable. It's either Incredibles or Ratatouille.
For me, it's always Monsters Inc. and Incredibles.
But yeah,
I mean those two are my favorite.
But the Pixar movies back then, like they were about something. They were about. It started from the very
messages were
messages.
Simple.
From about a rat, just pursuing what he loved to do, and that's to cook, or a family or a person or a man learning to value his family and understand that yes, he may miss being a superhero, but family's more important than going back into the good old days, or learning that the responsibility of bringing joy to a kid as someone's toy, or just simply about a fucking robot learning how to fall in love with another robot. The messages were so great, but now it's more of substance. It's more of style, or am I getting the words mixed up? Is it more substance over style, or it's style over substance?
It's style over substance.
Yeah, they're more doing. It's like now Pixar's just style over substance, and they just feel like, oh, we have the technology and we have the money. Let's make the animation just the greatest thing to ever watch on screen, instead of trying to tell a story.
Is maybe one of the best animation shit ever.
It is, but not only that, Coco it also has a great story.
It's a good story. It's a good story. There's still this whole element with death and the afterlife, and it's like
I'm guessing you're not religious.
I don't think it works with a kids movie. I don't think it works.
To each his own. I feel like because I am a Christian, so I definitely do think that an afterlife exists. But
I think that there's something, and I think that they're interesting, but I don't think it works with the kids' film. I don't think that it does. The whole, even Inside Out is all about emotions inside somebody's head, and it's this is weird.
I was not a big fan of Inside Out.
I want a universe where rats talk. I want a universe where monsters are the key component. I want a universe where there's superheroes. I want a universe where toys come to life. Those are the premises of Pixar that I miss. I want a fish that talks. That's what I want.
I forgot about Finding Nemo. About Finding Nemo.
One of the best movies of all time. Again, one of the first Pixar movies. You have these, and then you just have the sequels, and it's the sequels are good, but
my god, I actually want to talk to you about that, but let's just
let me finish this thought. But I want a new old Pixar movie, just a Pixar movie that's a simple premise with a very complex message, but just a simple story. Because what you said about The Incredibles, you said that it's about a man who needs to appreciate his family, and that is what the story is about. But the message, I think, and they reference this many times, is that not everybody's special.
Yeah.
And they have all those things and all those messages in Monsters, Inc. It's, loving somebody is about letting them go.
Yeah, to love something, you have to let
it go. That's part of what love is.
Yeah, when Sully or when Sully let go Boo, that's some emotional shit. And then when Boo comes to check the door to see if it's that's some adult shit.
Yeah. It is.
Letting someone go is that's some adult shit, bro. Mm-hmm. That you wouldn't expect to put in a Disney movie, but they do that because it's telling you listen, and you want to know, you know what? Forget Monsters Incorporated for a second. Let me talk about this. Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3 is one of the greatest endings to a trilogy, and I'm saying trilogy. I don't count Toy Story 4. That shit's a piece of garbage. But I'm gonna get on that. I'm gonna get on that later. But Toy Story 3, it works because it's a culmination of Andy and Woody learning to let each other go. Andy learning that he can't keep holding on to his childhood forever. He has to let Woody go. And he reluctantly he doesn't want to give Woody to Bonnie. He refuses for a second. And Andy gives him up because he's listen, I'm growing up and I have to let him go. I can't keep holding on to him forever. And Woody does the same thing. And I was watching a video yesterday, and it was at the same time they both made the decision to let each other go. Woody chooses to give up Andy and be with Bonnie, even though Andy means so much to Woody. He learns to let him go because he loves being his favorite toy.
Right.
He loved being his entire purpose in life was to be Andy's toy and make him happy. But then he comes to realize that I mean, Andy's growing up. I can't keep holding him back from, growing up forever. I have to understand that at some point I'm not gonna be his favorite toy forever, and at some point he's gonna grow up. I have to let him go and be with someone who's happy, and reminds me, when Bonnie first plays with Woody, it reminds him of what Andy was like when he was a kid. And it's like, okay, like I can still have that same purpose, but with someone new who enjoys playing with me. You know what I mean? And it ties in. Just if you love something, you gotta let it go. They both let each other go, and I think that's one of the most emotional movies in Pixar history with Toy Story 3. I think that's it's an emotional movie.
Yeah, I mean the Pixar, all the Toy Story movies are good. I even like 4. I like 4. 4 is the worst one, but I like 4.
I hate 4 so much.
Why?
Because this is what I never saw Toy Story 4 in theaters. I held it off for the longest time. For the longest time, I did not watch Toy Story 4. Mm-hmm. But I watched it. I think I watched it a couple of months ago, and I was just like, why was this made? It just really, I understand what the movie was doing.
That was the whole thing with the movie.
I get it.
I agree with you.
I get it. This is Woody's movie. This is Woody realizing that, I'm not Bonnie's favorite toy, and I can be happy with Bo Peep, and I can move on with my life and not have to, keep holding on to this, purpose anymore. But this is the thing. It just ruins the perfect ending from Toy Story.
3.
And the fact that, and Forky, and this is another problem. Why I feel like Disney really tries to make that one character that everyone's just gonna instantly fall in love with. They did it with Forky. They did it with the cat from Lightyear. They did it with
the Bobo character from Inside Out.
Yeah,
Bobo,
like they just
whatever.
I've noticed that pattern. Like they really just make a character that they think everyone's gonna like without actually
Olaf and Frozen.
Yes, like, and I couldn't stand Forky. I didn't think Forky worked as a character, and it kind of contradicts the fact that it's not a toy. You can't just make something and call it a toy. It's not a toy. That's not how it works. He wasn't manufactured in a toy factory. He's not a toy, and the fact that it comes alive, it kind of doesn't make any sense.
I mean, yeah, but it is a movie, and they're all movies about toys coming to life.
Yeah, but but then there was this whole theory on, the toys aren't actually alive; it's a figment of the kids' imagination. Like they are the sentient beings that make them talk and come alive. But that's not the case at all. That was never the case. But more on Toy Story 4. I think it ruins the perfect ending of Toy Story 4. I think
Toy Story 3, you mean?
Toy Story 3. I think Buzz really was underutilized, and they kind of just made him a bumbling idiot. They made Jessie pretty one note, which is unfortunate because I think Jessie was the standout character in Toy Story 2. Bonnie just blatantly disrespects and disregards Woody and she's just like, oh yeah, remember when I really hope Andy doesn't come back and be like, oh, how's Woody, how's my favorite toy, and she's like, I lost it. That's kind of just like that's a big middle finger to Toy Story 3, and that just kind of goes into the fact like not every movie needs a sequel. Not every movie needs a sequel. Not seriously. They gotta stop doing that. And Incredibles 2, I think, was pretty disappointing. Even though I wanted a sequel, I was not expecting the sequel for Incredibles to be that mediocre. I thought that was a very mediocre and predictable movie. I thought that. What's another sequel that was not really necessary to make? I know I'm drawing a blank here.
Well, I mean, there's so many, but I mean, going back to Toy Story, I completely 100% agree with you that it does kind of fuck up the ending from season 3. Season 3.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
I agree with that. I think that there's a whole thing with the movie of why is it being made.
Yeah.
That element is 110% there throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
I think I have to rewatch it though because you're saying some stuff that I'm not necessarily remembering. I remember Buzz being underused. I don't even really remember Jesse. I don't remember Bo Peep. I need to rewatch it. I remember the animation being fucking fantastic though.
You see though?
The shots are so good.
You see though?
So good.
You're talking about the animation.
It's so good though.
It's good, but that's the thing. They're trying to distract us from like, they're trying to distract us with how good the animation is, it's so that we don't think about the story.
So good though.
Okay, Chris. Now you're concerning me. You said that in that same tone for like five straight times, man.
I'm telling you, dude. I remember the ending of that movie with the circus. I remember how fucking incredible it was in that movie theater watching. I remember going, wow, this is fucking crazy. This is fucking crazy. But I remember that I did like Woody's story, but it felt like there was like 20 extra minutes of the movie that could have been cut out. I didn't really like Sporky. I remember that. I didn't think it was that funny.
The voice box thing, I thought that plot point was pretty annoying.
Yeah. No. I understand what you're saying. It was definitely the worst movie out of the four. I said that.
It's the weakest of
It's the weakest of the four for sure. There's so many movies though.
And I don't even I think I only watched Toy Story 2 once, and I still think Toy Story 2 is great.
Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 3 is the one that I've watched the most. Toy Story 1 is the one I've watched the second most, and Toy Story 2 I watched the least, but I still think all three of them as a whole is a great trilogy.
Oh, yeah, it's a great trilogy. I watched Toy Story 1, I think, the most. I watched that movie all the time when I was a kid, and I'll go back and watch it here and there.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Oh, but speaking of trilogy, like, because I know you were talking to me about this earlier, but you said you wanted to, like, hear my opinion on Kenobi.
Oh, yeah, for sure. What's your opinion on Kenobi?
All right, listen to me. For all these people watching and who are upset, who like Star Wars, I'm going to say this, and I mean it when I say this. Kenobi was mid. Kenobi was mid. I've never been so disappointed in a Star Wars show in my entire life. I thought that it was disappointing. I thought that it was underutilizing of its characters. I thought that Reva was trash. You heard me. Reva is not a good character. I don't care that she was. I don't care if she felt bad for almost. I can't. I don't care if she felt bad for almost doing so-and-so. That doesn't justify her character. It doesn't. It does not justify the horrible things that she did. They're trying to always make the villains redeemable, and it doesn't work all the time. It doesn't. And I know I'm spoiling it, but Chris, come on. You can't tell me that you did not see that coming.
What?
With Reva, you cannot tell me you did not see.
Redemption.
You can't tell me that you did not think that Reva was about to get redeemed. You just can't tell me that. It's Star Wars. They do it all the time.
No, I mean I don't know if they do it all the time.
Okay, you're right. They don't, but they do it.
It is Disney, and I kind of did see it coming a little bit. Though, it's so cheesy. It's weird. It's weird how fucking cheesy some of it is. Because Star Wars is never really about... Well, I mean, the original trilogy was a little cheesy. But actually, maybe Star Wars is cheesy.
No, Star Wars is fucking stupid. It's stupid.
But some of the best Star Wars is when it's not being cheesy.
I still think it's cheesy, but it's enjoyable though. I can recognize that Star Wars is pretty ridiculous. I mean, you got people with laser swords who do space magic, and they're like space wizards, and they fly in these spaceships, and they have laser guns, and they're fighting they're fighting other people with laser sticks, and you got a dude who looks like a freaking gorilla making a weird noise.
That to me isn't cheesy. None of that is cheesy. That's just sci-fi. What I'm talking about with cheesy is more the Layla chase scene.
Oh my god!
I watched the first episode. That was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Listen. I did not care enough to recognize that chase scene was bad. But now that I'm thinking about it,
so horrific.
That you're telling me that a 10-year-old girl is able to outrun all of those people. You cannot tell. And then they're.
It's not even that, dude. Do you remember the scene? Do you remember it?
I remember it.
I'm gonna.
I remember it, but like I gotta watch it again because it's like, hold on.
I gotta try and pull it up because
No, I know which
it's
dude.
the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
All right, I know the scene, but like I only watched the entire show once. I never replayed the episodes. Peanuts.
What? Who is this dude? Shut up.
I don't know.
I don't know who the fuck that is. So,
I get sometimes like some clips like they have like at the end of it it's like, oh, this is the scene for blah 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 blah. But there's no, okay, hold on. There's no way. And I understand that Leia's listen, I don't care if Leia's 10 years old. Well, it actually does matter that she's 10 in this.
It fucking does matter. If she was 30,
she's a
it
kid.
wouldn't be that crazy.
She's a kid, but there's no way that a 10-year-old kid is outrunning all three of those guys, and there's no way that those people are that incompetent and that stupid that they don't try to find a way to. But the person that split, dude, there was two people chasing her, then the other one goes the other way. Do you understand how perfect that was to cut her off? They could have easily cut her off, but then he's like, oh, let me stop and let her, get. And I see what they were doing there. They were trying to make it so that she can outrun those guys. Listen, we're not, okay, listen, we're not that fast at 10 years old. I mean, come on, man. Come on.
Pick up the fucking child. And, like, you could have done that in so many different ways. She has this little, like, robot that follows her around. Just give, like, the robot, like, a little gun or something to, like, shoot at them. And maybe that distracts him so that she gets, like, a head start. Just anything.
Like, you can
anything at all.
What?
But what the fuck was that?
Dude, like that's you can replace
Horrible.
that. You can replace that scene with.
Horrible.
You can replace that the music in that scene with the. Like what? That scene is dumb.
It's laughable. It's laughable. I mean,
Oh,
you could watch that and laugh.
oh my God, Chris, you're gonna, dude. If that scene pissed you off, bro, wait till you get to episode 4. Oh, God. You're gonna get so mad. You're gonna be so mad, man.
Sam already told me that I'm gonna be mad at that episode, and I don't want to watch it.
Can I show you the scene?
No.
Okay.
No, I gotta watch it.
You're gonna be so pissed.
Oh.
It is so. And I was mad because I'm like, you're telling me.
Don't say it. Don't spoil it.
Yeah, I know, but like, you're telling me that you guys didn't see that. Are you guys stupid? Are you stupid? Are you just like Homelander said, is your mind getting fucked by stupid? Is your mind getting fucked by stupid? How are you not able to see that? You're fucking dumb.
It's one of the best lines of all time ever written. Is your idiot brain?
Is your idiot brain getting fucked by stupid? Like, exactly. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that line now. But no, if that pissed you off, dude, you're gonna get so mad in episode 4. It is ridiculous. It is the most cartoon shit I've ever seen in my life. And it's just like, that's some Scooby-Doo type shit. It's some Scooby-Doo type shit.
It is Scooby-Doo type shit.
But Kenobi is a very mid-show, and it's very disappointing. And what's worse is that it completely wastes. First of all, Ewan McGregor, for the time that he is in, should be in it more. It completely wastes his character and focuses on a character that does not work. That does not work.
So the black girl is what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Reva. That's her name?
She just doesn't work as a character for me. And
my problem is like, why wasn't what is it, the Grand Inquisitor she was like kind of taking over, and it was like, hold on, the Grand Inquisitor's right there. Why the fuck is he not the one taking over? Like, I was very confused on why the Grand Inquisitor had like more say than she did. Like, I was a little confused by that.
Prepare to be mad. That's all I gotta say.
Because it was so odd. Because like the Grand Inquisitor is one of the best Star Wars characters ever.
Well, prepare to be disappointed.
Dude,
prepare to be disappointed, my friend, because you are not gonna like anything that happens with him at all.
His death is one of the best deaths in fucking all Star Wars. In Rebels,
I've seen seasons 1 and 2.
His fucking final line, what was it? It was some things are more terrifying than death, and then just falls into an explosion. That's fucking crazy. That is fucking insane. I mean,
yeah.
and like the animation that goes with it. It's
I didn't
so
really
good.
like the anime. I didn't really like the anime, like
No,
the way that
no,
they
no,
animated
no.
the
Neither did
characters.
I. But some of the
Especially the
things
thin
was good.
lightsabers. I hated that.
I like the thin.
And I'm not really a big fan of Rebels. I think Rebels really just like kind of drops the ball with it.
Well, Rebels is.
It's unfortunate that it came after the Clone Wars.
It's basically Clone Wars made by Disney, and you
Yeah.
can tell it's literally a copy and paste Clone Wars. It's just made by Disney.
Yeah, like take a shot every time the Rebels disguise themselves as freaking clone troopers.
Dude, yeah.
Take a shot every time that happens because they do it every episode. But no, and you want to know what's worse? I'm a huge Hayden Christensen fan. Anakin Skywalker is my favorite character in Star Wars history. Yes, I know he murders children. Okay, I know that he slaughtered sand people. I get it. But Anakin is one of my favorite characters in all of Star Wars. Yes, I don't condone anything that he did. If I have to say this because I'm not trying to get canceled. I don't condone any of the violent actions that he did in the movie. I don't support that at all. I don't support it. But I loved Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker. I think he did an amazing job, and I was never one of those people that hated his performance. I thought he did great with what George Lucas gave him, and I know that George Lucas is not the best when it comes to dialogue. I understand that. But this show completely wastes it. It underutilizes, and they don't use him at all. And I'm sorry, they use him, but it's not in the way that you think. It's not that you want more. You want more.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it. And they kind of just like there's like, oh, you want Hayden Christensen? You want that? Well, you're gonna get him, just not in the way you think. So fuck you. But like, yeah, it's like what the hell, man? Like I've been waiting for Hayden Christensen to come back for so long, and this is what you give me. This is what you give me. He better be in Ahsoka. Or I'm flipping shit.
He's in Ahsoka. He's in Ahsoka. So, I mean, you have at least that to look forward to. I think there's a lot being carried on with Ahsoka. There's like a whole lot of pressure with Ahsoka.
But I don't know how long. I don't know how long I can. I don't know how much longer I can take with Star Wars, man. Star Wars has been really bad to me. I love The Mandalorian. I love Clone Wars. The sequel trilogy, I think Rise of Skywalker is a piece of shit. I'm probably one of the 20 people that actually loves The Last Jedi. Mm-hmm. The Force Awakens, I think it's brilliant, but I think Rise of Skywalker really ruined Star Wars. I think it ruined Star Wars. It set fatigue. It set fatigue in. I think it did because after Rise of Skywalker, I was like, another Star Wars thing is coming out. Yay! I'll watch it eventually. Or hey, but. No one, I think, Mandalorian came out around the same time as Rise of Skywalker came out, so I can't really say that fatigue set in then. But after like Rise of Skywalker, it really gave Star Wars a bad reputation because of what Kathleen Kennedy and Disney did with the franchise.
I'm gonna pee my fucking pants. I'm gonna try and do something I've never done before. I'm gonna try and pause the podcast, and then I'm gonna try and edit the clips together.
Yeah.
So two things are gonna happen. This is either gonna go on 2 parts on YouTube and Spotify, or I'm gonna try and edit the clips together. So can we take a quick break and then we'll come right back? So it's either gonna be in 2 parts, or it's gonna be in the same video, and there's gonna be some edit. Here we go. 3, 2.
Yeah.
We're resumed. We're back.
Yeah, we're back from our pee break.
All right. So we were talking about Star Wars.
Yes.
And so the new trilogy.
The new trilogy, yes.
So you like Episode 7?
The Last Jedi? Mm-hmm. Yes, I do. Wait, Episode 7, I think, is Force Awakens.
Yeah, that's the Force Awakens. So Episode 8.
Yes, Episode 8, The Last Jedi, I think it's believe it or not, dude, it might be in my top 3.
Yeah, I hate that movie.
I think it might be in my top 3. It
sucks.
It's interchangeable with the Force Awakens, though. My top 3 is Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back, either The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi. But I'm gonna say Force Awakens. The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and then I can't.
For me, it goes
5. Honestly, I'm gonna say Solo. I love Solo.
I love Solo too.
Solo's
great.
It's a great movie.
Solo's good.
Yes.
So I don't understand your obsession though with Episode 8.
Okay, all right. This is
don't
what
understand
something
it.
that I all right. So, do I think The Last Jedi has problems? It does have problems. I think Rose was a very annoying character that I actually have come around to, and I've actually I've actually warmed up to her, and I think they could have done better with her if they had just given better thought to her character. I think Satine, wait, no, not Satine. Laura Doff's character, the one with the purple hair. I think they could have did better with her character too. I thought Leia.
I didn't like her.
I
that
think
much.
I think it and with Snoke, the whole Snoke thing. I think Snoke dying is a bit. What the fuck? Like what?
Yeah.
Like you build them up to be this villain, but this is the thing that I liked because I don't think he was ever supposed to be the main villain. It was supposed to be Kylo Ren, and I think him killing him really signifies that we're not gonna do the same thing twice. We're not having Snoke be the Palpatine and Kylo Ren's gonna be the Darth Vader, and he's gonna come back to the light side and kill Snoke. I like that he kills him, and I like that it's like I am him. Like I'm him, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not sucking up to no motherfucker. I'm him, and I'm killing this motherfucker, and I'm taking over for my damn self. And I think I do listen, believe it or not, I think Luke was great in that movie. I think I like that Luke was an asshole. I like that he was kind of a coward because listen, the fact that he almost killed Ben, do I think it's ridiculous? No, I don't actually, because I believe that he would, because after what he endured with his dad and having to having a premonition that Ben was about to turn to the dark side. Bro, Chris, you're looking at me like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, I know what you're talking about.
But having a premonition that Kylo Ren was already turning into the dark side, he thinks like, I can't let this happen again. I can't let the galaxy fall into the hands of the Empire again. I can't let this happen again. So he thinks about killing him. Does that assassinate his character? No, because if you were in his position and you had to endure years and years and years of the Empire destroying everything that was good, you having to fight for your life to hopefully see a better future, and you had to go through that all over again, you would prevent that in a heartbeat. You can't tell me you wouldn't do that. Anyone would have done that. Now, did could Luke have gone a different direction? Yes, but sometimes fear makes us do things. Fear makes us do things. It makes us do things that are irrational, and it makes us do things that are against our moral code. And him almost killing Ben goes against what he stands for. But it is. I understand why he almost did it. But at the same time, he never went through it. He's thinking to himself, "What am I doing? I'm about to murder a child." Well, he wasn't a child. He was like an adult or something. I'm about to murder someone who's defenseless. Number one, and two, it's my best friend. It's my best friend and my sister's kid, and he's like, he's asleep. Obviously, Kylo caught him at wrong time. He thought that he was about to do it, but he actually wasn't going to do it. But he never got a chance to explain himself, and then that's when he completely turned to the dark side.
Right.
And with Rey, I think Rey was better in The Last Jedi than she was in The Force Awakens, because I like that she was a nobody. I like that her parents were no one. I like that they were just some street rats or whatever, and she was just like a no one. Because I like that too. I think the best part about Star Wars is that anyone can be a hero. Yeah. You don't have to be related to someone famous to be a hero. You don't have to be anyone can be one with the Force. It makes the Force mystical. Anyone can be one with the Force. Anybody can become a Jedi. And the fact that they ruin it in the next movie is baffling, and it just disrespects what Rian Johnson did. Now, the problem that I think the movie has is, what do they do? What the hell do they do with Poe and Finn? I think Finn was really underused in The Last Jedi, even though I like the fact that if he had died in that movie, I honestly wouldn't mind. I thought he was going to do it. I really thought he was going to kill himself to save the Resistance, and I honestly wouldn't mind. But it's very disappointing that Finn was someone who was my favorite character in The Force Awakens. I thought he was going to be the Jedi, and they just completely screw him over for the next 2 movies. I think Poe could have been really touched upon more if they didn't just make him someone who just likes to blow stuff up.
Yeah, no, I didn't mind that. Poe was actually probably my favorite character in the new movies. Now looking back on it, he's just this like kind of reckless maniac who works for the rebellion. I thought that they could have gotten really dark with that though, and they didn't get dark with it.
They didn't.
You know, a great just like simple plot line off the top of my head. Poe's the name, yeah, Poe.
Yeah, it's Poe.
Poe accidentally kills somebody because he just likes to blow stuff up. Like I was expecting that because that's simple. That's off the top of my brain. You could have done some way more complicated, but I mean, like let's say he just accidentally kills someone because that's Poe, and like it would have just dawned on him a lot more. I think it would have been a lot more interesting to see him go really, really dark. I thought Finn was going to be like the new Boba Fett, new Mando, sort of like he was just going to eventually get like, he wasn't going to be a Mandalorian per se, but he was going to get probably like some pretty cool armor. I thought he would have some pretty cool fucking weapons. I didn't think that, maybe he would even carry a lightsaber. I didn't think that he was ever going to be a Jedi, but
I wanted him to though. I did.
Yeah, I don't think that we needed a Jedi, especially if we had Rey. If we had Rey as the good Jedi,
but here's the thing though, because even though I like the fact that Rey is even though I liked Rey in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, I can still see why people call her a Mary Sue.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. Because she really. And I'm not saying this to disrespect Daisy Ridley or anything, or to disrespect Rey as a character. I like Rey, but it's kind of hard for me to,
It's okay. She's okay.
It's kind of hard for me to root for a character who always just wins at everything. You know what I mean? And this could to make sure that I'm not being or being sexist or anything. This is a problem.
Stop with the sexist thing.
I know,
but
like
getting a sexist thing when you criticize female characters.
But I know, but like I gotta explain myself. This is
because you love Ahsoka, right?
Yeah, I do love Ahsoka.
I love Ahsoka too. So there are good Star Wars characters. There are bad Star Wars characters.
But yeah, but like Rey, it's hard to root for someone who always wins at everything. It's kind of the best characters are the ones that struggle and they get put through the ringer and they fail.
Yeah,
and Rey just has never failed in the trilogy. No. She's always won, and it's kind of hard for me to me to root for Rey because we already saw Rey beat Kylo Ren in the first movie. So how do you expect us to believe that Kylo's gonna win the entire win in the end?
Kylo Ren should beat the fuck out of Rey. I mean, it's so ridiculous.
It's even if Kylo Ren was injured, he's still a more skilled lightsaber duelist than Finn and Rey combined.
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous that Rey, and regardless if she's a Palpatine, Rey doesn't have any experience. And Finn doesn't have any experience. I expected Finn to lose. I expected him to lose. Even the fact that he and you can clearly see that Kylo Ren was toying with Finn. Like he was messing around with him. As soon as he got hit, he's like, "All right, I'm gonna take this motherfucker out in like 2 seconds." But against Rey, like he's struggling, even though he has more experience than Rey.
Which is ridiculous.
And it is ridiculous. It's like I understand that you want Rey. If you wanted Rey to be force sensitive, fine, do that. But don't make her win in the first fight that she ever had against Kylo Ren, and then just like because she's beaten him in every movie. And Kylo Ren's supposed to be better than her. But she beats him in every movie. I'm not trying to say that, but the facts are there. Kylo Ren's more experienced. He was trained by Luke Skywalker himself, and I guess Leia. Leia's also strong with the Force, but he loses to Rey twice.
For a fight scene in Star Wars, legitimately you need 9 months of choreography training.
Like in real life, are you talking about?
In real life, you need not like... That's how long that fucking lightsaber battle took in Phantom Menace, and in fucking Obi-Wan. They said that they trained for like fucking 6 months. At least for both of them.
Learning how to use I can, and if like I think
getting it right too.
Obi-Wan and Anakin, that fight probably must have took like close to a year to prepare because
are you kidding me?
You have to memorize every move.
Every single move.
Exactly. You can't get it wrong. You have to memorize it step by step by step by step. You have to memorize which foot you're going to use, which stance you're going to use, where you're going to be when the next person. You got to anticipate. You have to anticipate. I can't imagine how hard it must have been for Hayden and Ewan McGregor and Ray Park and Daisy Ridley and all those people who have used the lightsaber to memorize their movement, like the movements. It must. So credits to them. Credit to them for understanding and real. But to be honest, though, the lightsaber fights and choreography in the sequel trilogy are trash. They're kind of trash.
Well, they're not good.
They're not good at all.
It's not good, and it's disappointing.
It is disappointing. To go from a freaking fight like Duel of the Fates or the Battle on Cloud City or the Mustafar battle or Battle of the Geonosis to that, like, what? No.
I mean, it's just not even acceptable.
It's not.
And even what you said, the whole fall of Luke Skywalker and how you describe it, that sounds like a decent idea, but the execution of it, I think, is just fucking terrible. Like, I don't think that they executed it well at all. And they definitely used tell, not show.
Show, okay, yeah.
And
show, don't tell.
And I always say show, don't tell.
Yeah.
I mean, I think half of that movie should have just been Mark Hamill. Like,
honestly, yes.
like,
because
just,
Luke Skywalker is one of the most iconic characters in Star Wars history.
That whole story is so complicated. Like, so complicated of, like, how he falls and... But I don't even think that even if, with all that happening, he would go and hide up on a hill for 30-some years or whatever it was.
I mean, maybe, but, like, again, I mean, the dude, to Luke, he felt like he failed. Like, he failed the galaxy and he failed everybody. And sometimes it's like, it's best if I just don't put myself in that situation because I feel like I'm going to make it worse. So why?
Maybe, but again, they did not execute that well at all.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they try to make him like the Yoda character. They try to make him like Yoda who, like, went into exile for, like, for many years.
It's different, though.
But I do like though.
They try to make it an exile thing, but the thing is that they had the Empire, so they were hiding from the Empire. In Luke Skywalker, there's no Empire. He's just letting Kylo take over. Like, he should be out there trying to stop Kylo.
Yeah.
And he's not.
Yeah, I mean, but with me, I gotta take it for what it is. I mean, yes, like, he did, it felt like he was kind of, it felt like he was being a coward, but at the same time, I understand why he's being a coward. And, and with Luke, I do like how Luke is not perfect. I like that he's not perfect. He's not a perfect. He's not this legend that people. I mean, yes, he is a legend, but like he doesn't see himself as this legend character that or this legendary hero that everyone sees him as. And I like that at the end, the dude he sacrifices himself to make sure that everyone else can live, so the fight can still go on. And I think his death was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
I'm not gonna lie, the death of Luke Skywalker in the new trilogy is probably one of the best.
Like, him dying in front of the twin sons is so fucking brilliant. Like,
it's so good.
It ends with it started with him looking at the twin sons, wondering what his life was going to entail, and it ends with him looking at the twin sons, coming to accept that I've done my part. This Ray has to finish what I started.
Yeah. It's genius. No. That part is genius. And the way he uses that. The whole thing with Rey, though, is that we needed, like, a training sequence. We needed, like, a training montage or a training sequence. She just has all this power, and it's like, where the fuck did it come from?
Well, if they did that, then people would have said that, The Last Jedi is, Empire Strikes Back. And I understand that they were trying not to make it Empire Strikes Back, even though I kind of got elements that I did get elements that this was basically Empire Strikes Back, but they didn't really fall into that narrative.
No,
there are there was a mixture of Empire Strikes Back and the Return of the Jedi it's like, and you want to know what Rey kind of you want to know who Rey reminds me of?
Who?
Korra from the Legend of Korra.
I don't know that.
So Korra. So if you've ever seen the Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Legend of Korra is a sequel of that series, and Korra is the new Avatar. And Korra, at the age of, and let me mind you, learning how to bend all 4 elements takes months, maybe years at a time. And Korra already knows how to bend 3 of the 4 elements at the age of 5. Do you see what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
The fact that Aang had to learn how to bend all 3 elements in a span of a year is impressive, and it shows that, dude, like, this is some hardcore shit. But he had to do it because it's like, dude, like, I have to learn how to bend all these elements.
And
it doesn't even show.
What the whole show is about is him training.
Yes,
right?
but it doesn't even show Korra learning how to bend all 3 the 3 elements already. She just can do it.
Yeah,
she can just do it on command.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem.
And that's not like I don't have a problem with her bending. I don't know. I have a problem with her learning how, like, already bending the 3 elements. Right. My problem is that we don't see her bend. She can just do it automatically without fail. And you know, the next like 10 years, she does learn how to train. She does train to become the Avatar and everything. She trains all 3 elements, but we already saw her. She was a prodigy. She was a prodigy already. She was already a prodigy. Yeah. So it doesn't. So like now it's like, okay, so she trained. So the dude, so she's already, you know, at strong. So like, why? What is the point of the show? And obviously the show does have some good moments, but I just don't really like the Legend of Korra. It's not even because of Korra, just all around. I just never really liked it, and it just, you know, considering that it's, you know, the sequel to The Last Airbender, it's pretty disappointing. But that's not the point. The reason I'm saying Rey reminds me of Korra because Rey has power. She is one with the Force. She is one with the Force, and Korra is the Avatar, and Korra and Rey are both intertwined with with the fact that they both have all this power, and Rey more than Korra. Korra has actually been challenged, so I will give Korra that. She's been through the gutter.
I've never seen The Legend of Korra.
Yeah, but Rey has I don't feel Rey has never been challenged. Like, she's never been tempted by the dark side. She was never, you know, challenged except for the first movie. And even when she was weakened, when she was kind of weakened in Rise of Skywalker, she still beat Kylo Ren in the fight. I mean, she still did.
Yeah,
you know,
it's I don't know. It's just kind of sad the whole way that whole trilogy planned out. I hope that they make that not canon. Honestly,
it's canon.
I hope it's not though.
It's canon. It's canon, bro.
I hope they make it not canon.
How can they make it not canon if it has Han Solo, Leia, and Luke in it?
You just said it's not canon.
It's kind of hard, dude. I mean,
no, I
can't watch the sequel trilogy the same anymore. I really
can't. I can't either. But they can't say that it's fucking not canon. They have this whole plot thing where, like, do you know the whole theory with Rebels?
Like, what do you mean?
So, do you know the end of Rebels?
With Ezra, like, sacrificing himself?
No. That was Kanan who sacrificed himself.
No, I mean, like, Ezra, like, he, like, at the finale, like, Ezra, like, he does sacrifice himself for the rebels. He doesn't die, but he is, like, I think he's, like, gets teleported or transferred into some, like, fucking universe, some shit, and then, like, it ends with Ahsoka and, like, Sabine, like, trying to find him and something, or something.
Oh, Ezra starts fighting Grand Admiral Thrawn, and then Ahsoka takes off with someone else to go save him. But I'm talking about when, what was it? Ezra pulls Ahsoka out of a portal.
Yeah, the time portal.
And, Ahsoka was supposed to die by Darth Vader.
Oh, basically. Yeah, no, she was supposed to die, so, like, when she fought Darth Vader, but somehow they survived.
What they could do is, because Ezra or Ahsoka died, Mandalorian never meets Ahsoka. But if you have another alternate timeline where Ahsoka gets killed by Darth Vader, Ezra doesn't pull Ahsoka out of the time portal, Mandalorian never meets Ahsoka, so Grogu never gets with Luke Skywalker. So that could lead up to the First Order taking over, all this shit happening. But if Ahsoka lives, they could just say, well, that was an alternate timeline where Ahsoka dies.
That's honestly something that they could do, but time travel is very tricky. It is one of the most trickiest,
but if they only
plot devices.
One thing once.
Yes, but time travel. But when it comes to time travel, you have to be very, very careful, because
I think it lines up though.
I mean, yeah, but like, I mean,
time
because
travel theory.
well, yeah, with time travel, I mean, look at Endgame. The time travel aspect.
Oh, it doesn't make any.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Doesn't make any.
It makes no sense
at all. Especially the end with Captain America. You have like no idea what's going on.
No, I don't. I don't understand because and how Hulk. Don't even get me started with fucking Hulk in that movie. But you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Hulk. I fucking hated Hulk in the Endgame. Hulk is a bitch. They made him a bitch. They made him a bitch.
Even in Infinity War,
he's barely. Well, I mean, he is in the movie for like 2 minutes, and then he never comes out again.
Yeah,
but
he gets fucked over by Thanos.
It's
and then
really
runs away like a
it's
little
and
bitch.
it's disappointing because Hulk is one of my favorite Marvel characters, and he's one of the strongest characters in in the Marvel comics.
Yeah,
Incredible Hulk is one of my favorite comic book movies, and in that movie, Hulk is a fucking rage monster. He does not. He is not anyone's bitch. He doesn't get bitched by anybody. If he gets beaten, he does not give up. Hulk doesn't. If there's one thing that Hulk does, he does not give up. He doesn't give up at all. So you're telling me that Hulk doesn't want to doesn't want a rematch against Thanos? Really? And then Banner's just like, okay, let's just team up and become one, and just be like, the brains and the brawn and become one. I mean, I never liked Professor Hulk, even in the comics. So when they did that, I'm like, okay, what the fuck? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's weird. It's strange.
It's really strange. And then, him explaining time travel, I'm like, that's not how time travel works. Time travel works where now time travel can be perceived in many different ways. You go back in time, you change something, and then that past becomes the future, and you create a time paradox. Right. Or but if you go back into the past, whatever you change does not affect your future. It just creates an alternate timeline. That's not how time travel works.
Well, I mean, it can, but they don't even stick with it because why is Captain America in your timeline?
Exactly.
Because he should have left the timeline. He went to another alternate timeline.
And then with the Sorcerer Supreme and the Infinity Stones, it's like if you take one stone out of if you take the stone out of the timeline, so they're not even following their own timeline.
No.
Time travel rules.
No. It's so strange.
It's really weird. And then with Loki, it's like, so you're telling me that Loki transporting out of his universe sets off the TVA, but the Avengers going back in time and taking those Infinity Stones and messing with they didn't just take the Infinity Stones, they messed with the timeline.
Yeah.
Captain America was not supposed to interact with the other Captain America. Hulk was not supposed to, freak out and, be all... That scene was dumb, but even then, he wasn't supposed to do that.
No.
Tony was never supposed to give his dad, Howard, he was never supposed to give his dad, Wait, I don't think he ever did though. So I don't think his dad ever.
Loki was weird. The whole Loki plot line that was strange too.
Loki transporting out of his universe should not be that bad that it sets off the TVA. But the Avengers doing all that shenanigans, they don't get the TVA doesn't stop them and be like, oh, you can't do that. That doesn't make any sense. They're not.
Apparently, they're supposed to do.
They weren't supposed to do. No. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Loki, escaping doesn't change the entire structure of time, and it ruins the timeline.
Well, here's the other thing too: is that
wait a minute. So if that's the case, Thanos transferring from 2014 to 2023 doesn't mess with the time. Doesn't mess with time.
Yeah.
What?
No, it doesn't.
No,
not at all.
That doesn't make any sense.
Also, Captain Marvel didn't care about Thanos at all because she was off saving other planets when Thanos was conquering other planets, but they didn't ever actually meet up on the same planets because
don't get me started with that
they
bullshit.
Didn't.
Don't get me started with that bullshit.
So you see how it makes sense because it doesn't.
Don't get me started with that. Oh, where were you when all this shit was going on? That's why Eternals is fucking ass. Because the Eternals the entire movie makes no sense as to why they didn't interfere with Thanos. Because let's look at this from the movie's rules, because the movie told me so. Thanos stood in the snap that Thanos did undid the birth of the Celestial from the Earth. The Earth needs to evolve so that the Celestial is born. But Thanos got in their way and snapped half of life from every single planet, not just Earth, from every single planet. So it's a cataclysmic event. Everything gets affected by what Thanos did. So you're telling me that the Eternals don't interfere with something that's going to stand in the way of the Celestial's plan? Tell me how that makes any sense.
I don't know anything.
It makes wait
about the Eternals. I didn't watch the Eternals.
Okay, so all right, so let me okay, so if you haven't, so let me explain the Eternals, the entire plot of the Eternals.
Okay.
So the
Go
Eternals,
ahead,
so the Celestials, they are these gods who are born from each planet. Like they are born from the people. The population evolves, and then the Celestial is born from those humans evolving at some point. So Earth has a Celestial that is going to be born after the humans are evolving and growing and overpopulating. So,
Okay.
Okay, so you're following me so
I'm
far.
following you.
So Thanos, him snapping, like and wiping off half of all life of in the entire, not even universe, just like half of everything, half of all life, delays that plan. The Celestial can't be born if half of life is wiped out.
One thing Star Wars always does really, really well is you always feel the time period that it's in very, very well. Even in Obi-Wan, everyone's terrified and scared, and it's like, okay, so this is when the Empire's around.
Yes.
So everything is affected by the Empire being around.
Yes.
And if you want a story in Star Wars that's not affected by the Empire, you go a little bit before or you go afterwards.
Yes.
And so you kind of feel all of that. Even in Mando, you feel
you can tell that it's after
because
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, and like you have some resistance here and there. They're like, hey, what are you doing here? This is like a resistance planet or whatever. And you have some of that, but even then, Mando's like, get the fuck off me, you're not the Empire.
Exactly.
And he just flies away from them, and then the resistance is like, well, we're too small, so we can't go after Mando right now. So like you have all these different things all going on at once, which is always fucking awesome.
But yeah, and they explain it to where it makes sense, whereas Marvel they don't. So I said all that to say this. What Thanos did should have let the head Celestial of all Celestials, he should have been like, all right, and because the Eternals, they're not allowed to interfere with any human conflict. They can't. They're not allowed to interfere. They couldn't interfere with anything that happened because it would mess everything up.
Right.
But so the big Celestial should have been like, okay, I know I told you not to interfere, but for this once you have to, because this is gonna get away. This is like Thanos is getting in the way of our plan to make this Celestial be born. So I need you to interfere for this one time, because this is actually like this is he's getting in the way for every single Celestial.
Okay, let's talk real quick before we gotta wrap this up soon. We've been talking for almost 2 hours now.
Damn.
Which is fucking crazy because it was an hour and 25 minutes, so we're at about 30 minutes now, so we're about probably 1 hour and 55 minutes.
Damn.
So we're
damn.
Yeah, we started at noon. It's
2:03.
2:03
God damn
right
it.
now. It's been a very, very
I'm low key hungry as shit too.
Yeah. So what are your plans after now that we graduated high school? What are your plans now?
My plans are to go to college. I'm going to UMass Amherst. If you can't see, I'm wearing a UMass Amherst hat. Minutemen. So yeah.
What are you doing now? What's your major?
I'm majoring in sports management. Okay. I want to be a sports analyst, and I'm just really looking forward to just the atmosphere of college and just meeting new people and just enjoying what life is, has in store. I mean, I'm gonna miss everyone obviously because Easton has been more of a home to me than Randolph has, and it's not because I hated Randolph. I enjoyed Randolph, I really did, but it's just I never really interacted from anyone in my town as much as I did Randolph. Instantly, I made so many friends, and I'm gonna talk about this in my documentary. I'm talking about all this shit that this shit that I everything that I before I moved here. I'm talking about this in my documentary. So stay tuned for that. But I genuinely just Easton has become home. It's become home for me. And even though I was never from here, it's a home that it's a place that I will always call home, and I will always feel like welcome to be, an Easton resident. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I'm glad somebody likes this town.
Oh, don't get me wrong. There's some parts of Easton that I do not like, but I like the people. So that's what makes me feel,
I don't even like the people, bro. Some of the people, we got like half the people are cool here, and then the other half fucking piss me off. But what would you feel about graduating? I mean, high school's over. Do you like the fact that we're done with high school?
I am glad when I got that diploma. It's like, bro, I made it. I got my diploma. I'm like, wow, like I'm really just about to become an adult. I cannot believe if someone were to tell me that at some point you're gonna graduate high school and you're gonna be out in the real world, I would have just been like, you're kidding me, right? Like, no, there's no way. Because like back then, you think graduation is like so far away. And then when it happens, it's like, holy shit, where the fuck did all the time go?
Yeah, I know. I always remember in 7th grade, somebody said, oh my God, we're 7th graders.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then 7th grade, it was like, oh wow, we're in middle school right now, and now all of a sudden we're like graduated. So
yeah, man, it's
time
like,
flies.
and this is so cheesy, but I always like to think I always think my life is kind of like a TV show. So it's like, it's like
all successful people do, I think.
Yeah, so it's like, senior year of high school, it felt like the fucking series finale of like my childhood, practically. Like season 1 was when I was born, and season 18 is, the fucking end. It's the end of my childhood. And then on to the next, off to the fucking spin-off, the college years where I'm on my own. You know what I mean? Like it's like, cause like it's so fucking weird. Cause it's like, damn, like if my life was a TV show, I would be like, the side character. But then the college years would be, I'm the main character.
Are you the main character, Jaiden?
I feel like I'm the main character in some aspects sometimes, but sometimes I feel like I'm not the main character.
You're the main side character.
I'm the main side character.
You're the main side character. You're everybody's favorite, Jaiden.
But I'm like the dude that would actually get his own TV show because I'm a fan favorite.
Oh yeah, you're Saul. You're Saul Goodman, I think. You are the side character that gets his own TV show.
Yeah, I'd like to believe that, honestly.
Yeah, I think you are too.
Yeah,
all right, man. Jaiden Grannon, everybody. Coming out with a documentary soon. I want to get you back on right after that documentary comes out so I can watch the documentary. I can talk to you all about that and talk to you about all the love, pain, and joy that went into that fucking long journey. But, yeah, thanks for coming on, man. Any last words? Anything else you got to say?
Thank you for having me. Hopefully I can be on this podcast one more time
Absolutely.
before we all go our separate ways.
Yeah,
but
before.
Enjoy being on here. Thank you for having me, and for all the people watching, thank you for watching.
Yeah, I think this episode was way better than the first one we did.
Oh, absolutely.
So this was really, really fun to do. I had a fun time making this, and I'm glad you came on. We talked a lot about movies, TV shows, all that shit. We didn't even get into any political stuff.
Yeah, we didn't.
I want to get into all the political stuff, but we started talking.
No political stuff for me.
No political stuff? You have no opinions on anything going on?
Listen, I'm not a political guy, so I know nothing. I know little to nothing. I'm not even gonna put my 2 cents in. But thanks for having me, and I always enjoy talking to someone who's as intellectual as me when it comes to like movies
and editing and all that type of shit. So yeah, absolutely. All right, thank you everybody. Thanks for watching. We're gonna end this now. Bye bye.